Hey everybody, it's Dr. Bruce again with our tip 21. I'm going to continue on the same path as last time. We were talking about rapport, and today I'm going to talk about values. Because values are very important when you're talking to people, because the way you speak to them is very, very important when you understand who they are. As an example, I know that chiropractors in general, I know the wants and the values of most chiropractors just from being around them. I am one. Therefore, but at the same time, maybe you're a chiropractor that has a lot of value in your family. Or maybe you're a chiropractor that doesn't have a family, has a lot of value in money. Well, just those two issues would make my conversations with you different. Once I understood what motivates you the most in life, my conversation is going to be based around that. Because when you see me talking about what's most important to you, you listen. When you see me talking about things that you don't value, or you may even have a bad feeling about, you actually repel. Now, as chiropractors, our primary job is to change the patient's understanding of chiropractic from what they think chiropractic is to a clear understanding of the unique value and benefit chiropractic offers. Now, imagine if you understood the values of someone, then you can sit there and tie chiropractic as the solution to their value system. If you want to be more time with your family, you're a sick person, you're a chiropractic patient, and you're missing out on being able to throw the ball around with your son. Your conversations would be all about being able to restore the ability to do that high value participation in a high value event. So understanding that, and then realize this: the number one motivation in people is the desire to move towards a pleasurable experience, or to move away from what they perceive to be a painful experience. And that's a simple explanation. It's simple to understand when I say, hey, how would you like to go skydiving tomorrow? Now, a person that wants to move towards pleasure will say, absolutely, are you kidding? That'd be awesome. God, I get to get up in the plane, jump out of the plane, I'm free like a bird, I'm flying, oh my gosh, let's do it. If you're a moving away from person, you might say, are you kidding me? Jump out of a plane? I could die. And that's because they're not going to do anything that's going to possibly give them a painful experience. And by the way, jumping out of a plane with no parachute opening would be painful. So that's now value is also anything that you hold extremely important in your lives. And there's two types of values hierarchies, being this, a towards value, or an away from value. Now, a towards value will cause you to do anything to gain pleasure, success, achievement, happiness, love, and freedom. So if your value, as an example, not yours, but a patient's value, was to get back to be able to do something in their life, then chiropractic was the way to do it. They'd be more apt to accept your care. A lot of people understand this. They come in with pain, and most of the conversation is about eliminating the pain, and that's it. And unless you make it more valuable, they don't want to come in, they don't want to have to pay, because there's not a lot of motivation there. But if they saw going to your office as a way to get back to be able to go camping with their child or their family, or to go out there and go for walks with their wife or their husband, or just do anything with more emotion, when you attach the results of chiropractic towards their value, that makes them way more appealing and makes them way more want to have care. Now, away from value, which will cause them to do anything to avoid pain, now that's going to enter into the situation of chiropractic care. If chiropractic care to them is painful, if it's uncomfortable, if it takes away their freedom or their time, they're not going to want to do it. So that's one reason why we do our reports of findings over a few days. And I explain to people, what chiropractic is. I give them a first adjustment to show them it doesn't hurt. A lot of times we're asking people to go under care and sign up for a program of corrective care before they've been adjusted. And if you're a heavy adjuster, you walk in there and they're a little bit nervous, and you give them their first adjustment and it hurts, they're done. They're going, I'm not coming here for a year like that. So I want to make sure my first adjustment is very light and very comfortable, because we're not going to fix them in one day anyway. So the purpose of my first visit is to show them it doesn't hurt. and to make a specific adjustment. A practice focused on prevention and correction, you rely on new patients having a clear understanding of chiropractic benefits, because otherwise they're not going to be coming. No one's going to come in under corrective care if they don't understand the benefits of chiropractic and how it fits with their values. And therefore, otherwise, it's just something they come in to get out of pain with. So when you have a better conversation with your patients, you're going to have better understanding and more reason, to take care. When the patient understands chiropractic, the chiropractic approach to health, it now makes sense to them. But understand this, it's actually detrimental to your practice and our profession to support a system-based healthcare system. When you start treating symptoms, that's just basically, you're getting into the away from things, and there's no motivation. They come in because they got a backache. Their ends, values, everything's just getting rid of their backache. And so if we start doing that, we never have a chance for them to move towards something. A person who is excited about having a better life will love chiropractic as a maintenance program. They'll love it as a wellness program for their whole family. They'll be able to see their children going through school without taking unnecessary vaccinations and having a higher immune system. They'll be able to see that when they understand the approach to health. And that's the key to having a family WellCare cash practice. They'll pay for it as well. Now we have means values. Now means values are things to do to get you by while you're going along. Like right now, having a car. A car is not really a value. It's basically entertainment sometimes. It might be something, basic transportation to go to work. That's a means value. You need it. You need it. A home. You don't have to live in that mansion. You could live in a little one-bedroom flat if you're single, or a two-bedroom flat if you have a child. But we want to have a different situation. The home is going to give us the feeling of comfort and security and luxury. But again, it's not really a goal to have a home. It's actually a means value. And money, again, it represents freedom, security, and power. So all these means values are things that people go after, and they try to make this the purpose of their life. And that's why sometimes they don't accomplish anything, because they're always just spending things and kind of spinning their wheels. The ends values are doing things that will result in an end result. A person would think it doesn't matter what I have to do as long as it's not in violation of ethics, personal values, or it's not legal to have something of importance. So in your practice could be an ends value. Your practice itself could be represented as that vehicle that you use that's going to get you to retirement, that's going to get you to financial freedom. Because financial freedom, by the way, is an ends value. Once you're financially free, then work becomes just something you want to do. Make sense? How would you like to practice and you did not need the money? Think how it would change. Think if a patient walks in you don't like, you say, "I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones, we can't help you." A person says, "Well, I'm only coming in if my insurance covers." I said, "Well, then you need to find someplace else." Because your insurance may or may not cover, but if someone judges their health based on someone else's, paying for it, you're not going to have fun here. I'm not going to enjoy being your doctor. I want someone who's got their skin in the game. So having money gives you freedom. Financial freedom, and I can get you financially free in like 7 years. It doesn't take all your life to do that. That just means you're independent. You've got things in place, making it so you don't have to work every day. You may not be a multi-millionaire to be financially free. You could just be a thousandaire, so to speak, and still be financially free. When you got systems in your life that are taking care of your needs to live, you're now free. You're not relying on having to go and do labor every day just to get enough money to get that money and spend it on survival techniques. You've got that handled, and it takes 5 to 7 years. Not a big deal. It just takes discipline, and it takes a vision. It takes clear understanding of what's important to you, and then a plan and a system. Ends motivation, though, can learn to burn out. If all you do, and I can use this as an example of clients I was dealing at one time, there was a big deal on getting out of debt. Lots of seminars on debt. And what I noticed was this getting out of debt was burning people out, because they're so obsessed with having no debt They weren't enjoying their life. Every dime they made, they paid off bills. And I'm thinking of one individual right now that did nothing but pay off bills for 4 years. Took no vacation, spent nothing on anything of value, and actually just wanted to get rid of his debt. And so after 4 years of doing this, he was burnt. He had nothing was exciting anymore. I race cars. Is that a smart thing to do financially? Of course not. But I'm telling you, sometimes I felt in my practice, I felt like I was getting a little bit tired. Every day in and out, I was seeing, hundreds of people a week. And 600, as an average a week. And in doing so, sometimes you just get tired. But the idea of knowing that I had a race coming up in a few weeks, and I was going to be out there and have a few days of just, going out on the track and, dicing it up, it got me excited again. And so I have found, now I'm not going to go out there and borrow money and make payments on a race car. I'm not going to be using my expenses that weekend on a credit card. It comes from my mad money that I actually have I budget for that allows for stupid expenses. That's what the category is called, stupid expenses, because racing cars financially is stupid. On the other hand, for me mentally, the best thing on the planet. It's the best drug there is. And it would motivate me when I was feeling down to go forward. I had a reason. But people that were trying to just pay off their debt, that's all they had as their goal was getting out of debt, were burning out. Now, most patients actually see chiropractic as an end value. When they walk in, or an end experience, when they walk into your practice, they're in there to get out. They're not going in there to get involved. That happens through the experience they have, but that's never why they're there. So the process of getting a patient from going in there just to get out of pain into a lifetime patient actually has some system to it. And getting rapport, understanding values, how you communicate with the patient, has all parts of that. So study this stuff, think about it. Start asking questions of your patients. Just try to understand more who they are, and then see chiropractic as it fits their value system, and see what doesn't happen with retention. I'll see you on the next video.